You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Stories up on Infowars.com. We'll bring it up with the first and top hacker, Captain Crunch. He's joining us from Thailand. The real-life Matrix, MIT researchers reveal interface that can allow a computer to plug into the brain. They've actually had this for a long time, but they're now rolling it all out to the slaves. That is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in the next segment. I kind of went into an hour-long rant, but I don't apologize for it because the master plan is a global destabilization program and global civil war where the police and the citizens and the military all kill each other and society breaks down. The globalists want a new dark age where they have high-tech enclaves and reservations, but we live in just a third-world hell squalor. And that's exactly what Davos has been saying. It's good for the earth for you to be poor and to pay more of your tax money for wealth redistribution to the elite, because that's what helps the poor people. And unfortunately, the average poor person never was taught how the world really works, and so they have no idea what is actually unfolding, and it is extremely sad to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. So that's some of the basics that we're going to be breaking down on that front today. Continuing with this other news that we're going to be getting to, Venezuela vice president is head of drug cartel, claims deputy security chief. Well, I mean, in what Latin American country is the government head not the head of the cartel? I mean, in the United States, the CIA is the head of all major narcotics trafficking operations. I mean, that came out in Congress back in 1998 with the Solicitor Inspector General. I was about to say Solicitor General, was Inspector General of the CIA. Obama to seek more funds for antibiotic-resistant bacteria fight. Poll, large majority of Americans oppose Obama's immigration actions. Chicago confirms first case of measles. Oh, I'm so scared. We've done some special reports pretty much proving, I mean, there's a lot of corollary evidence that, well, they admit in the news, why are vaccinated people getting the measles? Seems like they get vaccinated and they get the measles. The articles in mainstream news don't say that it did that. It just says, yeah, it's strange there's a measles outbreak because everybody who has the measles recently was vaccinated. I don't know what's going on there. I got the shingles shot. My dad, before he retired out of oral surgery and dentistry last year, he still does some consulting, just said old person after old person, they're the ones that trust the system the most, I guess, would come in and go, yeah, they may have to cut my leg off, David, Dr. Jones. I got shingles, but it's not like shingles I ever had in my life. It's eaten down to the bone. And they'd always say, I don't know why I got a shingles vaccination 2 weeks ago, and then I got the shingles. And he just sits there with his mouth hanging open. And he just said he saw scores of people the last few years. You take the shingles shot, you get the shingles. You take the measles, mumps, rubella, you get the measles, the mumps, or rubella. You take the whooping cough vaccine, you get it. It's even come out in the news that it's been connected to the inoculations. Simply mind-boggling that all of this is going on. I've got all this other news. I mean, how do I even cover all this? The TSA is now going to check all your web profiles and see what you basically politically are saying and up to before you fly. I told you they'd roll out as the new national Stasi domestic spy police force because 14 years ago, when they were being founded, watched the C-SPAN program where they admitted all this. They said to have a job anywhere, you'll have to go to the TSA. That's now gone from government jobs to high-security jobs to infrastructure protection jobs to general jobs, and they're now fanning out the streets of America. And they're set to double the size of them in the next few years, so just get ready. But the border will be wide open. And there's also another report, air passengers' bank details to be handed over every time you fly. So there you go. Talk about tyranny. You got it. Who funded ISIS? You guessed it. Wire and chip up in his brain. So, again, a lot of this is just the media announcing something that's already there. But they had robo-rats, robo-roaches 25 years ago that they could remote control. Biological androids. A rat turned into a cyborg. System could deliver optical signals and drugs directly into the brain. Could lead to devices for treatment of conditions such as Parkinson's. Yes, it has a lot of great applications. The problem is Trojan horse systems are being built into everything. We'll get into that and more coming up with Captain Crunch. And we're going to open the phones up for Captain Crunch. John Draper, the first hacker, the most famous hacker, undoubtedly. He is a listener of the broadcast. Last time he was on the show, the first time, it was a newsmaking interview. He had been in the hospital, is back in horrible shape, surgeries, you name it, basically on the edge of, financially not doing too well. And you, the listeners, came to his aid and helped him. PayPal, predictably, froze the account. They've done that to us before when some money comes in, and you have to reach out to the PayPal account. He wanted to tell folks thank you. He should say that now, but reconfirm with them that it's not fraud to get the money. Again, another one of these Bilderberg billionaires that thinks he's going to live forever, but I wish he would just get people their money. That would actually be nice, especially a public figure like John Draper. But thank you for helping get Captain Crunch back on his feet, literally. And he's going to tell you all about that. But then we're going to get into the NSA. We're going to get into the Sony hack, which, of course, was an inside job, a PR stunt. Cybersecurity, SOPA, CISPA. Why on the heels of Charlie Hebdo, let's defend free speech. Let's arrest people that criticize homosexuals in France. Let's ban protesting the Islamification in Germany because we got free speech. And let's get rid of internet freedom here in America with SOPA and CISPA. Webcrunchers.com is his website. And then in the third hour, I'm going to get into all the news I haven't mentioned. Obama. Large majority of Americans opposed to Obama's immigration actions. He doesn't care what polls or the Constitution say. We're going to get into more on what's happening at Davos, more of what's happening in Ukraine, the 19 ingredients in McDonald's fries, including silicone, silly putty ingredient. So that's all coming up as well. U.S. watchdog urges safeguards for Internet of Things. That's the smart meters, the smart dust, the tracking grid. Oh, just like Davos' warning of wealth inequity when they're the very robber barons that engineered this on record. Oh, the feds are worried that your toaster could get hacked or your TV could be watching you, even though they had the international meetings years ago to have this all added ubiquitously in an integrated, standardized system worldwide. Now they're going to warn us about it and charge you with felonies if you hack into your neighbor's camera. But the feds, they're not hacked in. Why? They're just jacked in. Think about how incredible that is, and that Samsung 2 months ago came out and said, yeah, your camera and your microphone on all our new TVs, third parties record it, we sell the data, and they even said, so watch what you say. They said, so watch what you say. You buy our $3,000 TV, buddy, you watch what you say because we're such a free society. See, they're going so over the top, they just think you'll go into a learned helplessness, catatonic state. Now, John Draper hacked into the CIA phones, called up Richard Nixon famously, was put in prison for it. He's helped an enormous list of individuals, mostly in tech and hacking world. He invented a lot of the stuff that Apple uses and got no money for it, contributing to the foundation of many gadgets we have today. He also called President Nixon to tell him Los Angeles is running out of toilet paper, so he has a sense of humor. Well, you got to have that or you'll go crazy. You got to be crazy or you'll go nuts, as all of us who are crazy know. Known as Captain Crunch for his legendary phone phreaking, Draper has always been driven by passion and not money. The point was not just to make free calls, but to explore and learn from the phone company's rich and sophisticated system. complicated system. Despite his many contributions to companies such as Apple, where he wrote the first word processor called Easy Writer for Apple II, Crunch is not a wealthy man. And, you, the listeners, helped get him from collapse level and medical level, could have even died, to now being back on his feet, quite literally. So, Captain Crunch, I don't want to spend the whole interview thanking folks. We want to thank you, but give folks an update on where you are. You look a lot better, look a lot healthier, and then let's get into what's happening around the world with the first hacker. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Alex. First off, I want to thank you for having me on last October, because it turns out that one of your viewers, Dr. D, heard my interview on your last show and is now offering me free stem cell treatments here in Bangkok, Thailand, which is where I'm at now. It's like 1:14 a.m. in the morning here.
Well, thank you for coming on. And of course, you also wanted to thank the listeners.
Yeah, and I also want to thank all of those people who contributed to my healing fund. Unfortunately, PayPal has basically withheld more than half of the money owed to me, because a lot of my donors have not yet confirmed their pledge to my fund. So if you've made a pledge to my fund and have not received an email message, more than likely you will have received it by now. Please